Hello, this is Ken Barron. I'm with the National Association of Black and White Men Together. And today the topic is stigmatization of Black children. A suspiciously large number of children with good language skills are officially designated as language impaired. What's this all about? Well, nationwide data found that each year, 14% of states overrepresent the number of Black children with speech and language impairments. What does, quote, language impairment mean? Well, much of the reason is this diagnosis is so disproportionate among this group and with too many people who are supposedly trained in assessing children's language skills. They aren't actually taught much about human language works, and it affects the lives of Black kids dramatically. Most Black children grow up code switching between Black English and Standard English. Lots of people worldwide live between two dialects of the language, one casual and one formal, and barely think about it. For example, I was brought up in English, in the north of English, which has a pretty good brogue. And as a result, I had to code switch when I came to the States. Many Germans, Italians, Chinese people, South Asians, and Southeast Asians most Arabs are accustomed to speaking different varieties of language according to different forms of social interaction. Black children are much more comfortable with the casual variety of Black speech they brought up with, unaware that in formal settings there is a standard way of speaking that is considered more appropriate. Black English grammar is often assumed to be slang and mistakes, but it's actually just an alternate rather than a degraded form of English compared to the standard variety. When someone says, "he be singing," "he done sing," these are examples of how Black English expressions and show shades of actions in which that standard English leaves more to context. So, quote, "he be singing" refers to someone singing regularly. "He done sung" doesn't simply refer to the past, but to the fact that his having done so was something of a surprise or something people urgently needed to know. See the richness there. None of this is broken. It is just different. When asked, "this bird is blue" in a test, what about this one? This would be marked wrong if it red, but this is a standard in Russian, for example. If the kids tested see a girl with scissors and they say the girl cutting instead of a girl is cutting, this could be a sign of a linguistic impairment, perhaps, as it is called. Also in Black English, it is permissible to leave out the possessive "is" out. Many of these questions are right from the Clinical Evaluation of Language Fundamentals test, which is commonly used to assess children for disability status. But 20 out of 33 of those constructions in the test are used differently in Black English. And while the test includes modified scoring guidelines for students who may not have grown up speaking standard English, many test administrators do not abide by them. This would help explain why the researchers also found that an estimated 62% of states underdiagnose Black children with these impairments. These speech tests can shunt kids away from mainstream opportunity when they have done nothing but grow up immersed in Black English as their linguistic comfort zone. Being born Black makes you more likely to suffer this abuse, whether it means your language impairment requiring special attention goes on diagnosis, if that's the real thing, or you're perfectly fine Black encounters with language are different. Filipino kids growing up in the United States from early childhood can also lead to similar results. Little seems to change except people in education circles being aware of and dismissed by the problem. Speech pathologists seeking to meaningfully participate in anti-racism must start not just questioning, but resisting en masse these outdated tests on real kids who control a variety of coherent and nuanced varieties of English. Yes, all kids need to learn standard English in order to be able to access mainstream sources of achievement, not to mention to be taken seriously in specific contexts. This may not be fair, but the idea of standard English as a menacing, racist, quote, gatekeeper makes for good rhetoric, yet will help no one in the real world. Certain dialects will always be treated as standard, as inevitably as certain kinds of clothing, for example, are considered more fashionable than others. But for kids to be designated as linguistically deficient right out of the gate means a misunderstanding of how things are related and makes no sense. It constitutes a dismal effect of innocent articulation. And as such, it is an arrant and thoughtless injustice that must be stopped. Thank you for listening. This is Ken Bear, and please subscribe, like, and comment on all of our platforms and blogs. And you can email us at nabwmt at nabwmt.org. Thank you again.